Hi everyone, welcome back. We're still talking about reproduction and development. This video, as we focus on reproduction, we're looking at cell division. In our last video, we talked about mitosis, so for this one, we'll be looking at meiosis. Meiosis is the process that produces gametes. Gametes are the cells involved in sexual reproduction. So shown here we have a sperm, which is one male gamete, and the egg, which is the female gamete. They combine in a process known as fertilization that produces a zygote. And the zygote is the combination of the sperm and egg nuclei. They fuse together. And that zygote will develop into a fetus in the human development process. And in order to go from a zygote to a fetus, cells, right, this is a one cell structure. To go to a multicellular organism, we need lots of rounds of cell division and mitosis. So during that time where we're developing inside the womb, as an embryo all the way to this, late stage, ready to be born, our cells are being added to by the process of mitosis. And we'll come back to that when we do have the discussion on development. But for now, that's an important connection to make, is mitosis is the bridge from the end of fertilization to the birth of a child. It all involves mitosis. Now, sticking with meiosis, because that's really what this video is about, gametes each have half the genetic information, and when they combine, they fuse. And that fusion combines the chromosomes that were in each nucleus. So the sperm and egg combine the chromosomes to make a full number of chromosomes in the zygote. Meiosis begins with a cell with a regular number or full number of chromosomes and results in 4 daughter cells. The example shown here, we have a total of 4 chromosomes in the beginning, but each daughter cell has 2. So by my math, that's half the number of chromosomes. In comparison to mitosis, which we recently talked about in a previous video, we're starting with 4, just like this parent cell. Same thing. But at the end of mitosis, we have only 2 daughter cells, and they each have 4. So again, important distinction. At this point, as we said in earlier videos, mitosis keeps the number of chromosomes the same. But now we're introducing that meiosis takes the number of chromosomes and reduces it by half. Similar to my description of mitosis, I'm not one for all the nitty-gritty details, but our focus here with meiosis is really on the end product. You should know there are 2 phases. Phase 1 is very similar to mitosis. It produces 2 cells at the end with the same number of chromosomes. Now, phase 2 of meiosis now takes those 2 cells that were created in the first phase and divides them each into 2. So that's why at the end of meiosis, the complete process, you wind up with 4 cells. And again, you have half the number of chromosomes in each cell. Now, there's definitely more to this story. Some other pieces of why meiosis is really so superior in terms of genetic variability. And we'll cover that in due time, but let's just look at an animation of how meiosis works from beginning to end. So here we are in meiosis 1, prophase 1. We see the chromosomes condensing, centromeres forming. We'll come back to this concept shown here. This is recombination, which is an important distinction in meiosis, which makes it very important for genetic variability. Nuclear membrane breaks down. Spindle fibers reach out. They connect to the chromosomes. They pull those chromosomes apart. Notice they took a little bit of their partner chromosome with them. Cytokinesis happens, we have 2 daughter cells. Meiosis 2 occurs. Now we're going to reduce those chromosomes that are there. Same process happens, right? They line up in the middle, they get pulled apart. This is metaphase, they're lining up, they're being pulled apart in anaphase. This is all the second phase too, so that's why those number 2's there. The nucleus reforms, and in the end, after cytokinesis, we wind up with 4 daughter cells, which we call gametes, and those cells have half the number of chromosomes as the parent cell. I don't know, an organism with 32 chromosomes in the parent cell. At the end of meiosis 1, you'll have 2 cells with 32 chromosomes. At the end of meiosis 2, the second phase, that number would be halved. So in each daughter cell, they have half the genetic information as the parent. So if you want to apply that concept to human beings have 46 chromosomes in a typical cell, so that's the parent cell. At the end of meiosis 1, they have 46 in each of those cells. And in the new daughter cells, they have 23. Okay, so again, having the number of chromosomes. Meiosis is responsible for producing gametes. So in males, that's sperm. Sperm formation occurs in the testes of the male, and the result of one parent cell undergoing meiosis is 4 sperm cells. So males produce many sperm, millions of sperm, every day, and continue to make sperm past the ages of 60. So for every parent cell that goes through meiosis, 4 sperm cells are produced. On the female side, egg formation occurs in the ovaries, and it's a very different process in comparison to sperm formation. The result of one parent cell undergoing meiosis produces 1 functional egg cell and 3 non-functional cells. Females will produce 1 egg every month between the ages of 13 and 55. Now, obviously, those 2 numbers change from female to female, but the important thing is there's an end to when females can produce eggs. And that's called menopause. And that's an evolutionary story of evolution turning off the female cycle, because at a certain point in later ages, it just doesn't make sense. It's not good for the mother or the developing offspring to give birth. So this slide can serve as a good reference tool if you're asked questions to compare mitosis and meiosis. It puts everything in one place. So just quickly running through each row, the number of cell divisions, how many times the divisions occur. There's 1 for mitosis and 2 for meiosis, right? 2 phases. Exchange of genetic material. I didn't go into that detail in this video, but I will in subsequent videos. But for mitosis, there is no exchange of genetic material. That's why you wind up with exact same copies in the end. For meiosis, yes, there's exchange of genetic material. There's crossing over. It was in the animation, happened quickly, but we'll come back to that. Number of functioning cells produced from the original, from the parent cell. In mitosis, there are 2 daughter cells. In meiosis, there are 4 sperm in males and 1 egg in female. And the genetic makeup of the final cells, in mitosis, they're the same as the original. In meiosis, they are highly variable. That phrase means there's a lot of different combinations in the gametes, and they have half the genetic information as the parent cell. The function that they play in the body, so mitosis in a multicellular organism is really growth and replacement of body cells, maintenance. In meiosis, the function it provides is to form gametes, which combine to form the zygote in reproduction. And that's it for now. So thanks for watching.